I'm Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the first episode of Taskmaster Series 15. Now this video is going up a little bit later than I would have liked, so I apologise for that. But yeah, let's just get straight into it. It was a fantastic episode. I thought it was a really good, strong first episode. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about spoilers to do with this episode, so if you haven't seen it, then please go watch it if you can and then come back to it, because I don't want to spoil anything for you. The first thing I want to say is that I absolutely love the theme. I've seen a few people, I think it's kind of like a bit of a love or hate kind of thing. I've seen some people say that it doesn't really fit the Taskmaster style, and I've seen other people really like it, and I personally really like it. I think it's a really unique style. They've never had anything like this before. I really like the psychedelic 70s vibe, and I think it's an amazing style. I think it's kind of a good clash with the standard theme of Taskmaster, but I think it works really well. It's like eclectic. It's just really cool. I love the style. I'm also really excited to see how the kind of whether this will play into any of the tasks. A lot of the time it doesn't really, the theme is just the theme, but a lot of the times I feel like they could do a lot of musical tasks. Maybe they bring back Task and Brie and do another really awesome task like they did with the song one. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And I think it actually pairs quite well with the first task that they did, which was the create your own wedding dance to a song. And I thought, even though it was a little bit awkward, not having the music, I thought it was a really good way of getting around copyright issues, just having Alex and the contestants listen to the music. I thought it was a really good idea. But before we talk about that, I just want to talk a little bit about the prize task. I thought the prize task was pretty standard for a first episode. Again, like we've kind of talked about on this channel, the prize task is the prize task. It's not really something that they can be innovative with it each season. It's just a fun way to introduce the contestants at the start of the episode. But I thought this one did work really well. So it was a bit of a silly prize, as they all are, which was the most dependable thing that weighs about 1 kilogram, and I think that just kind of fits Taskmaster perfectly, just the sense of humour that they have, has to weigh about 1 kilogram. And I like that I like that people failed at this. I like that both Frankie and Ivo failed. I thought that was really funny, Frankie's painting being way too heavy with the frame, but then way too light without the frame, and the way Alex kind of dropped that in right before Greg was about to start scoring them, because I thought his prize was really good. I thought it was a really fun prize. I thought it's something odd that most people don't have, and so I thought it was a really good prize. But yeah, the fact that it just weighed completely off what it was supposed to. I did think that May deserved to win this one. I thought it was a good task. I think most people love an English breakfast, but I do have a little bone to pick. If it weighs exactly 1 kilogram, is it weighing about 1 kilogram? I'm surprised they didn't kind of pick up on that. But yeah, very nitpicky. But yeah, I thought that was a really good task. I liked Kiell's toaster, Jenny's eggs, Ivo's toilet paper. It's the kind of prizes that we have come to expect from Taskmaster. Not very good prizes, but technically fitting most of the time with the brief. But I really liked how this task, we already got a little bit of arguing, not serious arguing, but Frankie pointing things out about other people's prizes, kind of debating what's good, Jenny and Greg talking about the eggs and stuff. So I thought it was a really good start to the show. I also liked that Kiell's first words on the show was, "I'll smash this." I thought that was really funny. So yeah, on to the best wedding dance task. This was a fun one to start with. I personally wouldn't have put this one first. As somebody who was a long-time viewer of the show, it worked for me, but I think for a new viewer who's potentially watching this for the first time, I personally would have swapped the first two tasks around. This one, while it was fun, it was energetic for some people, and it was silly and fits Taskmaster in loads of different senses. I think having the string task first would have been really, really good because of the twist. Because you've already got people arguing, it shows how unserious Taskmaster is and how the contestants are always having to look out for things. So I think that would have been a really good starter. I think as well, the dance one, especially because it had no music and you could just hear people breathing, I think that might have been a little bit off-putting for people who perhaps haven't seen the show before and have gone oh, this has got a comedian I like, let's watch this, and it's people heavily breathing, dancing to no music. It's very much of the very awkward scent, like socially awkward almost, and secondhand embarrassment vibes from it. Like I even got a little bit like secondhand embarrassment from it, and that's from somebody who watched every episode millions of times. Yeah, so I can kind of think that would be a little bit off-putting for new viewers. So yeah, that's why I personally think they should have been swapped around and had the string task as an introductory task with like a fun twist at the end, and then gone into like the more awkward tasks and like even sillier tasks. However, as I said, I did think this task was very fun. I really liked it. I loved Kiell's dance. It was very energetic, very well choreographed, and as I pointed out, Alex was amazing in all of these, but I think especially in Kiell's and May's. Yeah, it was really good. I think he kind of shocked everybody, which, yeah, like I think we don't give Alex enough credit sometimes for a lot of the stuff he has to do. Like we kind of acknowledge the fact that he does a lot of disgusting or humiliating things, but like genuinely like talented stuff as well. I love that Frankie dressed as a bride and kissed Alex. It's not something that I expected from him, but it was really fun. And Ivo falling off the chair as well, I thought that was really funny. Ivo really surprised me. I loved how enthusiastic and kind of like hyped up he was for the show and for doing the tasks. And I'm excited to see what other things to do with Greg that he incorporates into his attempts at tasks, because we've already got something in the first episode where he's trying to like suck up to Greg, and I can't wait to see all the other things he does. With Jenny's task, we got Greg already establishing a narrative with her attempt, so I'm imagining we're going to see a lot of that as we go on, and I loved May's one as well. Their attempt was really good. I love that they got very emotional with it at the end, which was just a very different vibe to everybody else's, which I loved. I also love the fact that we've already got Greg messing with the contestants. So we had Alex bringing up the fact that Frankie was going to lose points in the first task, like his thing didn't weigh the same. And then we also had Greg messing with Kiell, saying that he was in last place. So I think we've established a very like fun energy with this set of contestants. Like they're already like playing with them and stuff like that. So I think we're in for a very fun season. With the string task, as I said, I think it should have been the first task, but like it doesn't really matter in the general scheme of things where the tasks are placed. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I noticed the writing on the back of the task straight away, as I imagine most viewers did. But yeah, so I knew there'd be a twist coming, and I did think maybe they're going to have to rewind this up. But I thought it was still a fun twist, especially seeing that nobody realised before they started unravelling all the string. Yeah, this is just a classic Taskmaster task. It's something that seems just so silly, and it's such a useless task. Like, most of them are useless tasks, but this was especially useless since they didn't have to do any of the unravelling of the string. Yeah, very chaotic, very silly, and just very pointless, which I think fits Taskmaster perfectly. And I think just everybody's reactions to seeing the twist was just hilarious. That's one of the things I like about twist tasks like this. Like Frankie threatening to sue, Jenny just being so like upset and distressed by it. I thought that was really, really funny. But yeah, I just love that. And the fact that she got caught out by Alex saying the scoring wrong, like not saying the scoring wrong, but like the way he says the scoring, like, oh, you did it in 1 minute slower than the thing. Yeah, so I thought that was really funny. But I thought both Jenny and May were really smart with this. Like May immediately thinking like, oh, there could be another ball of string here. Like it kind of shows that they're very familiar with the show. And Jenny playing on the whole, like, how long is a piece of string by just doing a small ball of string, which I thought both of their attempts were really, really strong. And I think as well, especially with like Kiell and Ivo, like going straight in and just like unraveling this, like raveling the string back up. So I feel like we might get those two doing more of like the, like, let's just do it as quick as we can and just do it kind of by the book. Whereas May and Jenny might kind of think a bit more outside the box as we go on through the season. And I don't know about Frankie. I thought he did a lot worse than I thought he would. I thought he'd be quite a strong contestant, and he might be. Like the first episode isn't a very strong indicator of how everything's going to go, but I thought he would be doing a lot better than this. I don't know why. And it kind of gives me the impression as well that Frankie isn't that familiar with the show. The fact that he was like, oh, you can't do that. Like, why would you do that on this, like, on the task? Whereas that is a very long-running trick of Taskmaster. And then we had what is my favourite task of the episode, which was the Barge Task. I thought this was hilarious, and just we've seen things similar with like upping the production value, like having season 11 we had them in like the airport hangar. Last series they were in the airport, and now they've rented a barge. Like, I just think it's really great. I'm loving seeing them do tasks in completely unfamiliar locations. Again, I absolutely love the enthusiasm that we got from Ivo. I think he represents like a lot of how the fans would be if we got a chance to go on the show. Like, he was just so up for it and so entertained by it, and I absolutely loved to watch it. And he did really well as well, especially the fact that like the boat broke. Like the fact that he didn't get discouraged by it, and he just, you know, got it fixed and then went straight back into it with like full enthusiasm. And yeah, I absolutely love that. I cannot wait to see how he like reacts to other things in the show as well, because it really feels like he's a big fan of it, and I love that. I also love like the nice sweet moment that we got between Jenny and Ivo, the fact that Jenny was like, look, I kind of broke the boat, so let's not penalise Ivo for it, and him just like immediately hugging her. I just thought that was so sweet. I thought May and Kiell and Ivo actually were all really strong at this one. I didn't expect anybody to do as well as they did, especially after seeing Jenny and Frankie's attempts. Like, I imagine I would be like Jenny, like just crashing it all the time. I'd be terrible at it, but I would love to give it a go. It's such a fun task. Then we had the studio task, and I thought this was a really, really good one to have as the first studio task of the season, because it was very energetic, competitive, and, you know, a little bit like there's a little bit of tension there as well between like whether they would like knock over the bucket. So yeah, I thought that's a really great one to have in the first episode. I thought it was really good that they are like kind of finally appreciating the fact that people have like different heights. So like for someone smaller, having the same height as somebody who's like a foot taller than them is a bit of a disadvantage. So it's really good to see that they kind of like lowered the height for the people who were smaller. I thought that was a really good, as a short person, I really appreciated that. And because it has been pointed out by people before that it is unfair for short people, some of the tasks. And I know it's kind of one of those things where it's like everybody will have certain advantages. But I appreciated it. And of course, I can't not talk about the sabotage that Ivo did and then the immediate retaliation by Kiell. I thought that was amazing, especially in the first episode. I love a bit of competitiveness and a little bit of sabotage. It was so good, especially because even though we had a little bit of like debating again about like the scores and stuff, everybody was kind of like together, and it was really great kind of like between them all. And then you've got Ivo immediately sabotaging it, and I just loved that there was no hesitation from Kiell, and at the same time we had May knocking over their bucket, so it was just a really great way to end the show. And I thought May really deserved to win. I thought they put in a great effort throughout the episode, and I think at the moment they're most likely to win. Just the very like dignified and like immediate way that they took to the tasks really proves like how good they are. But one person that I was really surprised by their performance in the task was Kiell, because I think it's just because of the character he plays on like Ghosts. The fact that his character is quite enthusiastic but also like not very good at things he tries to do. And I know that like the actor isn't like the character they play, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise how good he was at the tasks, and I loved it. He was definitely my favourite, and I'm probably biased by that, but like he was my favourite in this episode. I thought he was hilarious. But yeah, all of the contestants I really enjoyed. I thought it was a really good lineup. And if you've seen Ivo's interview that he did with Alex, spoilers, if you don't want any spoilers to do with like the team allocations, like who's in each team, then like stop watching this video, I guess. But yeah, so we've got Frankie and Ivo teamed up, I believe, and then Jenny, May and Kiell, which I think is really interesting pairings. I think Frankie and Ivo are going to be chaotic together, I think, and I think the stronger team will be the group of three. Just if you've got Kiell and May and Jenny, I think they've all got really unique strengths that I think could play into it, but who knows, they might work terribly together as a team. And I'm pretty sure that's the scorings because in the intro, May and Jenny were together. And yeah, it sounded like from what Ivo was saying, it was just him and Frankie. So yeah, that would be really interesting to see like the first team task. So yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say about this video. If you liked it, then please give it a like and comment down below what you thought of the first episode of Taskmaster Series 15, and subscribe if you want to see more videos to do with Taskmaster, and I'll have some out for you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!